I caught my boss sabotaging me, and now he's threatening my life. I always thought work was just work. Deadline, emails, meetings, boring but manageable. Until the day I realized my boss had been actively sabotaging me. At first, it was subtle. Files disappeared, reports mysteriously went missing, and minor errors appeared in projects I had triple-checked. I shrugged it off. Maybe it was me, maybe the team. But then the pattern became impossible to ignore. One late night, I stayed at the office to finish a critical presentation for investors. I noticed something strange. My boss's desk light was still on. I thought he had left hours ago. Curiosity got the better of me. I quietly walked over and peeked through the slightly cracked door to the server room. My heart skipped a beat. There he was, plugging a USB into the system and downloading my entire project folder. I froze. Every late night, every idea, every painstaking calculation, it was all being stolen. I wanted to confront him, but something in his calm, predatory smile stopped me. He didn't just steal work. He enjoyed watching me scramble. The next morning, I tried to act normal, pretended I hadn't seen anything, but my instincts were screaming. I started documenting everything. Timestamps, deleted files, emails, even recording a conversation when he casually mentioned, "If anyone finds out about this, you'll regret it." At first, I thought he was joking, but the look in his eyes told me otherwise. It escalated quickly. A week later, someone left a package on my desk, a single USB drive with a note that read, "I know where you live." I froze. My chest tightened. Suddenly, this wasn't about office politics anymore. He was crossing the line into something dangerous. I debated going to HR or the police, but I had no proof that wasn't circumstantial. Every step I took to involve them, he anticipated. Every email I wrote, he seemed to know. I started sleeping with the lights on, checking over my shoulder, feeling eyes on me even when I was alone in my apartment. Then came the confrontation. I stayed late one night to finalize a backup of my work, and he appeared behind me, calm, composed, but the air around him felt suffocating. "You think you're clever, don't you?" he said, stepping closer. "All those little plans, all those screenshots, useless. You have no idea what happens when someone like me decides you're a threat." I swallowed hard, trying to remain steady. "Why are you doing this?" "I've done nothing to you." He smiled, but it wasn't friendly. "Everything you've done is mine. You've always been disposable. Don't forget that." The next few days were a nightmare. My files vanished from the server completely. Emails were deleted. Someone tried to tail me after work. I knew he had connections, but I also knew I couldn't stay silent. I had to fight smart, not fast. I reached out to a former colleague who had left the company on bad terms with him. Together, we pieced together a timeline of theft, sabotage, and threats. Hidden cameras, server logs, deleted emails, all traced back to him. It was risky, but finally, I had something concrete. The morning I went to the board with the evidence, I felt my pulse racing. He tried to charm his way through it, laughing, waving it off, claiming it was team misunderstandings. But the logs, the recordings, the witnesses, I laid everything out. For a moment, the room was dead silent. His smugness faltered, but before he could react further, he leaned over to me and whispered, "You think this ends here? It's not over. You've made me a target, and now, so are you." The board asked him to leave while they reviewed the evidence. I thought I was safe. I wasn't. I got home to a voicemail. "You've opened Pandora's box. Don't forget. People like me don't forgive, and people like you don't survive." I packed my laptop, copies of every file, and my most important documents. I changed passwords, security codes, and even the locks at home. I didn't know if it would be enough. I didn't know if he would stop, but one thing was clear. I had won the battle of evidence, but the war, that had only just begun. I realized this wasn't just about work anymore. It was about survival, power, and control. I had exposed the truth, but the man I once trusted as a boss had turned into something far more dangerous, and I couldn't let him win. Not at my career, not at my